pointless. We laugh, we argue, we always have fun. Six voices unite, spreading up the stands on a football club.
Good morning and welcome to San Antonio Fancast Saturday morning, part 2. If you got up earlier this morning or if you catch it on the replay, I had a fun sit down with Tyler from Crane Kicks Lex, where we kind of discussed the Lexington side of the San Antonio versus Lexington FC or Lexington SC soccer match here. Royce, how are you this morning?
I'm here. I got coffee. I'm good. Let's go.
Let me see here. And so to kind of get started, you want to do the transactions real quick?
Yeah, we'll get to what we normally do. First of all, transactions for SAFC. We kind of have a couple cheeky ones. There's no technical transactions, but we did see through social media that Luis Paredes is in camp now, who was an off-season signing. For some reason, had some difficulty getting over here. He's now with the club in training, so we'll see about his availability and his conditioning. So that's exciting. He's a winger. He's an attacking winger. So another attacking option for SAFC, so that's good.
Number 32 as well, for those keeping track at home.
Is that a first? I think that might be a first for SAFC at number 32. Anyway, additionally, we also had the return of Mohamed Omar from the Somalian national team. Somalia earned their first World Cup qualifying point in their history, which is really cool. Unfortunately, their second game that they played against Botswana, they lost 2-0 on 2 late goals. And then we also get back Shannon Gomez from the Trinidad and Tobago national team. They won both of their Gold Cup qualifying games against Cuba. So good results for them. Happy to have them back. And then after transactions, there's the injury report, which, knock on wood, light a candle, whatever you need to do, but it's also empty, which is kind of a unique thing for SAFC throughout their history. So no players on the injury report, especially after Alex Grieve kind of went down, came out of the game with a knock in the last game. It's good to see that he appears to be healthy after that. So,
yeah, good news, especially for him, where I felt it should have been a red card. Robert didn't think should have been, but it is what it is. Just kind of talking a little bit, I know normally now we go into talking about Lexington. If you can, please listen to or watch on YouTube the episode. We kind of go over with Lexington, who's got off to a decent start this year with 1 win against Hartford and then 2 draws, 1 at Orange County, which they gave up a late goal, and then at home against Indy 11 last week, a 1-1 draw here. So they will be very tough at their new Lexington Stadium. Their Lexington Stadium seats about 7,500. Talked to Tyler about the lineup. He mentioned that it'll probably be very similar to what they've rolled out, which is a 4-2-3-1. The only question will be Joe Hafferty, because he had a concussion or was probably in concussion protocol. He went out about the 27th minute against Indy with a hard hit to the head, gave him black eye type stuff here. So, Tyler wasn't sure who would start in his place here. Gail Gibbert came in number 27 for him. But as president of the Kendall Burks fan club on the show here, he is solid in the middle with Danny Barber. Carrion Sargent is just somebody that Tyler mentioned that we should look out for. Kind of that fullback that goes up and back to me, kind of like Jimmy Madronda. Speedy Williams, Sofane Defal, solid midfield, and then Epps, Beer, Nick Firmino is well known, and then Corey Burke, a forward who has MLS experience for that here. So Royce on our side here. I'm assuming the back, you figure Madrana, Tainer, Cernali. Do you think we go back to the back four or, stay at a three back?
I mean, in the last lineup against Oakland, Yamosa kind of pulled a couple fast ones on us, but I think it's going to be similar. I think that was just a normal roster rotation. Nothing was really different. The only difference was the personnel. And it was really the players we've seen kind of be our 75th minute subs, right? They got the start, and the normal starters got a rest on the bench, or some of them came on later in the game. So I think that was just more of a squad rotation kind of thing, which is good. I mean, especially if you want to keep that injury report empty, and also to get a win was a big deal against Oakland. While rotating your squad. Just
So
two good results there. Go ahead.
here's my question to you. Who starts at forward? Alex Grieve, assuming that he's healthy, or Juan Agudelo?
I think it's going to be Agudelo. I think we're going to see the same lineup
With
that we
LaCava,
saw
Agudelo, Pacheco.
right in the first two
matches.
games. Right. I think we're going to see a similar lineup. Like I said, kind of the interesting piece to be added is Luis Paredes. I'm interested to see if he gets a sub appearance. I don't think he gets a start. I think you keep Pacheco and LaCava. I think they've looked good. Like I said, I think you get Agudelo in there, and I think it's just going to be the same lineup, like I said, that we saw in the first two games with Nicky Hernandez and Almir Soto. Almir Soto is the 6, Nicky Hernandez as the 8, Jorge Hernandez as the 10, and then the normal back line. I think it's probably going to be Buckmaster again, and then Cernali, Tainer, and Madronda on the left.
Yeah, that's how I have it set up here. My only question was Grieve, because I do think Grieve gives you a little bit more speed up top than Agudelo for that here. And, reading Bluish Moon by our Jonathan Check, I thought he made a really great point as far as for the keys to the match. And I'll read it here. It says SAFC has implemented a more possession-based style, but that doesn't mean it's going to be in control. Both teams average slightly over half a possession, with Lexington having the edge at 53%. Furthermore, Lexington leads the league in passing accuracy at 88.9 and third in total passes. Lexington also has had a whopping 67.1% of the possession in the previous match, which didn't translate to a win. And then he mentioned, and this is from Coach Lamosa, they can do a lot of passing, but we have to make sure that we don't do those passes in dangerous zones for us. If they kick the ball in the back a lot of times, that's fine for us, but we have to make sure make sure behind we are secure. Disrupting those passes. They're really good at that. So that's something that we've been working on this week here. So to me, and good job by Jonathan Check there. I thought it's, he mentioned the key of the match is be the aggressors with and without the ball. I know it's kind of weird saying, hey, ball possession is something that SanAntonio sees into, but your thoughts on kind of Jonathan's key, and this is off of his Bluish Moon blog for that here. And, if you can follow Jonathan Check, he does a lot of great work on his preview.
No, that's absolutely very important, especially with kind of how SAFC plays this season. I'm going to kind of go into a hockey term, but zone exits are very important, in zone entries as well. Kind of a big difference between the first two games we saw and then the game against Oakland, how we switched it up. Like you mentioned, Grieve, how we added a little bit of speed and a different dynamic. We had a lot more. So normally when Juan Agudelo starts, he is the target man for the passes up from the center backs. And so normally they'll look for him and he'll distribute from there. He kind of plays as a false nine. Normally in that to where he'll make the physical fight for the ball will come up to him, and then it distributes from Agudelo. The difference was the center backs kind of tried to instead pass over the opposing center backs to let Grieve and LaCava go and find the ball. And so that's what was kind of different. Is it was more the last game against Oakland kind of looked like more Marcina ball than anything.
Right.
So that kind of gives a new dynamic to that. And like you said, that's why you said Grieve was faster than Agudelo. I think it's more of just a different dynamic of play. So that kind of gives us a little bit of difference, a different look to the opposition to be able to change it up. So if the center backs queue up too much on Agudelo, hey, we'll go over you. That's fine. Queue up on Agudelo, and we'll just pass over you, and we'll get open looks. So that was interesting. And as far as position to be able to change it up. So if the center, as far as Jonathan's point, backs queue up too much. I agree. Also, like I said, so that was interesting. About pretty much zone exits and zone entries. Those are very important, and you got to take care of the ball. Lexington does seem to be a counter-pressing team. So to get through those presses and those pressing actions will be very important, especially with the two midfielders that they have, the two low-lying midfielders. They're a pretty stingy team. And that shows with that they've only allowed what have they allowed? 3 goals so far.
Lexington.
So
yeah, they've scored 5 goals, allowed 3. We've scored 5 goals as well, but only allowed 1 for that here. So, where are we watching the game tonight, or where can you watch the game from tonight here? I will say this is my little kind of warning to people. The match is on CBS Sports Golazo, not ESPN Plus. So if you go to your normal ESPN Plus, you will not be able to see it from there. You have to go on to CBS Golazo, which is a free network. If you have I think Tubi or you can, if you Google it, you can find it pretty easy. The only issue is that there's no replay of the game until 7 days later, because it's not something you can just pull up on ESPN Plus or on YouTube along those lines here. So keep in mind when it comes to that. But where are you watching the game from tonight?
Yeah, for sure. If you have Paramount Plus or the other free streaming platform that I'm completely blanking on, you said Tubi. There's another one that I like. Pluto TV, is that it? I think that's it.
Pluto, yeah.
Yeah, it's free on there. If you have, like I said, Paramount Plus, it'll be on there. But the big watch party that that Spurs Sports Entertainment's putting on, there's a free watch party at the Rock, which is at La Cantera. That's the Spurs training facility. They have a really nice courtyard out there, a really big screen out there. They normally have food trucks. They're apparently giving away a game-worn jersey from last year from Isaiah Parker. It's the black jersey with the gold trim, kind of the championship celebration kit, which is cool. Well, it's not last year. It's from the year before. It's 2023, excuse me. So that's a cool thing, a cool giveaway. But the game is going to be at the Rock. They're going to have the watch party. They're going to give away prizes, like I said, food trucks. The gates open at 5 o'clock. It is an early kickoff at 6. So make sure to be out there early. But yeah, good call on the heads up that the game is on CBS Golazo. It is not on ESPN Plus, as most of the matches will be on.
So then we got to get our predictions in for here. Just kind of a recap last week. I got 6 correct out of the options. You got 5 correct. Already this week we're both both missed the first one here. I had Tulsa with the tie, or I had tie between Tulsa and you had Sac Republic. Tulsa's the one that got their first win ever against Sacramento with an 87th minute, or else I was looking good. So far, year to date, I'm up 2 on you with 13 correct picks. You've got 11 correct picks. Hartford versus El Paso. When we're talking about L's, both of these are very used to getting L's. I'm going to go with the draw just because, well, I don't have confidence in either one of these teams.
That's fair enough. Yeah, that was Tulsa's first win against Sac Republic in 15 tries, which is pretty crazy
Yes.
in their history. And yeah, that goal was nice. It was a nice little flicked header off a corner, and Sac Republic just couldn't get anything going against Tulsa. In this game, Hartford has had a tough time scoring goals. They've also had a tough time not allowing goals. El Paso's at least scored a lot of goals, so give me El Paso in this one with the win.
Trying to give you the option here. So last week you went with Loudoun. They're playing Rhode Island this week. You still going with Loudoun, who let you down, or are you going with the draw or Rhode Island? Who are you going with?
Yeah, Lou City did what Lou City does, right? I shouldn't have really thought about that too hard. Give me a draw.
I went with Rhode Island.
As you should. It's a stupid draw call on me, but hey, we'll see.
So here's an interesting one. Speaking of Lou City, going against first place Detroit City at Lou City. This is always a tough match. But I think just the talent at Lou City, I'm going Lou City.
Yeah, same. Lou City.
Indy and Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs off to a slow start, just like last year. 2 draws, 1 loss. Indy, 1 win, 1 draw. Indy's at home. Are you taking Indy or the champs?
Oh, I'm going Indy, absolutely. The last game, which was a draw for Colorado Springs against Sac Republic, it was on 2 late penalty
PKs.
calls. One of them was very questionable. The other was very obvious. The other was a questionable one. But yeah, give me Indy for sure. Indy is in a better form.
I went with the draw. I just, and it might be my blind spot for Indy for that here, but I'm going to go with the draw. San Antonio, Lexington. I'm going San Antonio. I think by a score of 1-0. Although I could see it being a 0-0 draw, but I'm going to give San Antonio the road win, 1-0 win over Lexington.
Give me a 1-1 draw. Epps, ever since he left our club, has been a thorn on our side. I think it's a 1-1 draw, and Epps gets yet another goal against SAFC.
I'm assuming we're both going to Mexico United over Miami FC.
Duh.
North Carolina, Charleston. North Carolina's at home. I don't think it matters. I'm going Charleston.
That's correct, Charleston.
This is one of those rivalries that kind of goes back and forth. Birmingham Legion travels to Highmark and Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Birmingham has looked rough this season. Give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. Legion needs a new coach, and they need it now.
They need something. They need Kaylor to start recording back in his van.
Something, The surprise, Monterey Bay, 2 wins, 1 loss, which was to San Antonio and a close 1-0 versus Phoenix Rising, who disappointing again. 2 draws, 1 loss. It's in Monterey Bay. We face Phoenix next week, Sunday afternoon, big CBS. You go in Monterey Bay, you go in Phoenix, you go in draw. How are we feeling about this one?
You call first, and then I'll go based on what you call.
I'm going to go Phoenix just because I do think that they are due.
Yeah, give me Monterey. I was going to go Monterey the whole time anyway, so yeah, give me Monterey.
I was going to go draw, but I just through there. And then the final match of the week, Oakland Rooch off of an impressive, 26,500 versus the Las Vegas Lights. It'll be interesting to see how many show up for match 2 to see if match right, if it was too short or if it was actually the Roots. I'm going. So the Roots are 0-3, -4 goal difference. The Vegas is only 1-1, but 3 goals allowed, 3 goals scored. I think this one will be high scoring, but I'm going to go with Vegas.
Give me Oakland. I want to see them pull out a win.
So, any final thoughts before we get out of here? Because I got to get AJ to his coaching practice for the kiddos that he's coaching. For that here, any final thoughts of the week? There is one other thing. We didn't talk about it here, and we'll probably talk about it more tomorrow night. SAFC versus Las Palmas, May 31st, 8 p.m.
Palmas. Not Palamas. Palmas. Come on, man.
Well, if you pronounce it right, Palmas. So there we go. But 8 p.m., May 31st, for season ticket members, it is, I think, ticket 17 out of 18 or, 18 out of 19, one of those. So it's one of those things there. But you can buy tickets to it. I believe they have a game against Tulsa midweek, I believe is what it is. And then
the 28th. Yeah.
And then but it'll be, and this is it would be a Saturday night game, which is interesting for that here. So La Liga side that we'll be visiting. So very excited, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow night, unless you want to just do a quick blurb on it here. But I didn't want to miss mentioning that, because that was probably the biggest news of the week. Not necessarily for the Lexington game, but just for San Antonio FC in general.
No, for sure. It is a big deal. It's La Liga's first time here in San Antonio. And like we said, the Spanish Federation is considering San Antonio as a base camp for their World Cup in 2026. So kind of another instance of Spain coming over here and checking out San Antonio as a whole at the same rate. It's exciting to see that quality of football. Las Palmas, I believe, beat Real Madrid this season. So good team, good squad. It'll be cool to see them here, and a very unique opportunity for us fans to check that out. So very, very cool announcement. We'll go more into their squad at a later date, but it's super exciting for sure.
So my final thought is kind of queuing up for next week. And next week we'll just, we may do the show a little bit later, so that way we can have representatives from 210 and from FTC. But I do know that they have FTC, I think FTC and or 210's put out the call. San Antonio FC would like to have the supporter section sold out for the match against Phoenix Rising for that here. So reach out to the reach out to FTC or 210, Stuart, Matt, Jason, Rafa, just the communication lines on there for tickets. I'm thinking about seeing if AJ wants to bring some of his friends for that here to the game here, and then maybe getting a ticket over there to kind of support and show out for San Antonio. So to me, being on CBS is a big deal. So let's represent San Antonio well. I know there's a lot going on in San Antonio, especially first part of April. But a 3:00 kickoff on Sunday on Big CBS is something that most USL teams do not get. So let's show that USL made the right decision by putting SAFC in that spotlight.
Absolutely. Let's show out San Antonio for sure.
Any other final thoughts for you?
That's it. Let's get out of here.
All right. What's Life Without Goals? We out.